Wyduck here with Game 4 of the 2013 CPL Final between, spawning in the bottom left corner as the blue Protoss, we have InvitusGaming's Jim. And he was able to cheese his way at the last game, able to proxy a pylon, get the 2 Zealot rush in, do lots of damage to his opponent to claim victory, who's still up 2-1 in this series. Spawning as the Red Terran in the top right, we have MarineKingPrime. So as I just mentioned before, MarineKingPrime is still up 2-1 in this best of 5 series. He won the first 2 games before Jim was able to cheese his way back to win Game 3. MarineKingPrime wants to finish this. He doesn't want to go to Game 5 because then all the momentum will be in Jim's favor. And the mind games might start playing a role. Jim, on the other hand, I mean, he's going to go for broke. He's already won 1 game. He's got to win 2 more. His last strategy worked. He said, I'm not going to bother with all this Game 1, Game 2 macro economic sort of games. I'm just going to cheese my way to victory, and he was able to do that. And even though a lot of people don't like cheeses, they don't like the proxy barracks, they don't like the gateways, they don't like the 6 pools, they might not like it, but as a pro gamer, you have to remember that ranking points, prize money, all these things are on the line. And it's much more important to win the game, even if it's not quote-unquote honorable or quote-unquote entertaining. The number one thing you have to do as a pro gamer is to win. And if you think that you have a big advantage or a slight advantage by cheesing your opponent, then why not? But in this case, MarineKingPrime is not phased at all. He immediately goes for the 15cc on the low ground. He hasn't scouted anything. And this isn't even a 4-player map, so Jim knows where MarineKingPrime has spawned, but he still goes to the CC on the low ground, so gutsy move by MarineKing. He's not phased. He doesn't think Jim's going to go for 2 cheeses in a row while he's getting 2 barracks behind this. Jim, on the other hand, is getting a cybernetics core almost up and running, and he's going to be warping out his Zealot soon, or he might cancel it. As the cybernetics core is now out, the SCV is scouting the base. He's going to let the Zealot finish, able to swipe away at that SCV. One more chop, and that SCV's torso is going to come in half. But the SCV is much faster, is able to dart away. The command center for MarineKingPrime has just finished, and so the Marine will be finished soon. And a 3rd barracks is going up. So there is no refinery. The orbital command is coming up in the main for MarineKingPrime. Jim, on the other hand, is just warping out some stalkers, saving up 400 minerals, and going to be putting down a Nexus at his natural. But while his natural is going up, he's got 1 Zealot and also a Mothership Core and a Stalker coming to MarineKingPrime's natural. And there is no bunker here, and there's only 3 Marines in the main. MarineKing is going to start building a supply depot wall, but it's going to be too late. Oh, no, maybe not. The Zealot's going to be coming in here. It's going to be too late. Zealot's going to be chopping away at the Zealot, or at the SCV. The SCV is immediately destroyed. Now a pack of 5 Marines are going to come in here, try to defend this attack. Time Warp goes down. The Marines are not able to kite. The Zealot goes down, but so are the Marines. The Marines are focusing down the Mothership Core, but the Mothership Core still has a lot of life left. The Mothership Core is in the orange, is finally going to get to the red, but the Marine's not able to finish it. Now the Mothership Core is going to be a pick away at all these SCVs. 2 more Marines come in as reinforcements, but they're in the Time Warp. The Stalker has total advantage. The Stalker is picking away with the Mothership Core and the SCVs. 3 Marines are going to try to repel his attack. Another SCV goes down. If you take a look at resources lost, it's 5 times as much as Jim. So Jim has built a substantial lead, and he's able to destroy the mule as well. That's about 250 minerals. Wow, Jim is just applying the pressure. He's not letting MarineKing do his thing like he did in the first 2 games. The orbital command is forced to lift off, and the Marines are now hiding behind the barracks as a 3rd Stalker is going to join the fray, but at this time, Jim elects to get out of there. He's done enough damage. The orbital command was lifted. He doesn't think he can do any more damage or any damage that's worth it. And if you take a look at the supply, he has built a small supply advantage as well. At the same time, he's been able to pick off 5 SCVs, which is a huge pickoff. And like I said, he was able to destroy that mule. That's about 250 minerals. And behind this, he's just going to macro up, and he's got the Stargate in the back, warping in with Chrono Boost and Oracle. With the robotics facility also coming online very soon. So it's going to be very difficult for MarineKing. He's pumping out the Marines. But this Oracle will be able to destroy a lot of units. And here's the first Oracle. Picking off 2, 3 SCVs immediately. The Marines are being pulled. They do not have stim. 4 SCVs are down. While the second Oracle is going to come into the back, into the natural. There's not as many SCVs here, but there are also no Marines. So great pick off by Jim. Able to destroy 2 SCVs. The turret is not finished building. Able to pick off... No, not able to pick off a third one. The Oracle is going for a scout. Sees everything in the main. Sees the medevac, or sees the starport with the reactor. Able to pick off more units. The turret is now finished. Got to be careful here. Jim's Oracle goes down in a blaze of glory. Was able to take down many more SCVs. In total, those 2 Oracles were able to destroy 7 SCVs. And now MareinkingPrime is reeling. He's really behind. Economy-wise, he's behind. He lost a lot of units. He lost a mule. Jim, on the other hand, hasn't lost anything back in his base. No probes have been lost. He's only lost 2 units. And MarineKing says, forget this. I'm tired of getting shot in the back at my house. I'm going to come over to your backyard. I'm going to wreck your yard. I'm going to wreck your house. I'm going to throw as many stones as I can. Break all your windows, but I'm not sure how much damage he's going to be able to do. The Phoenixes are also being warped out. Phoenixes can pick up the Marines and finish them off in 2 shots. But this is a lot of Marines. Jim has to be careful here. He only has 3 Stalkers, a Zealot, and a Sentry, but he does have the Nexus Cannon up immediately preemptively. The medevac might be doing some laddering, but the Phoenixes are going to prevent that. The Oracle almost gets picked off. And MarineKing is now sitting just outside the Nexus Cannon's range. And he's building more and more Marines, and he's also sending a Viking over to Jim's base. The second medevac joins the crowd. And now it's a standstill at the second ramp of Jim's. With the Nexus Cannon up, these Marines get destroyed in 3 shots. And MarineKing does not want to engage. Now it's over. The Nexus Cannon is not up. The Stim Pack goes up. The Colossi here with no range yet. The Marines are walking in, doing a good job kiting, destroying 3 Zealots. But the Nexus Cannon goes up a second time. Not sure MarineKing was expecting that. The Nexus Cannon is doing a lot of damage. Some of the Marines are hitting the Nexus instead of the units. And now here come the Phoenix. They're lifting up Marines, picking them off one at a time. This Marine force is totally getting decimated by the Stalkers and Phoenixes. The last medevac gets picked off, and MarineKing's going to stim away. And unfortunately, that engagement went really poorly for MarineKing. He felt like he had to do something. He's been behind basically since the 3rd or 4th minute of the game, since that initial wave of Stalkers. And he felt like he had to do something, and unfortunately, he was pushed into an unhealthy position. And now he's 30 supply behind. It's going to be very difficult for MarineKing to get back in this game. He's building 2 barracks at his natural. He's expecting an attack right away. Jim's going to be building a 3rd instead. Jim knows he has the advantage. And so he's going to send the Oracle in, destroy a couple SCVs. There are no Marines here. They're going to stim in here, chase it away, and going to put down Revelation. Be able to scout MarineKing's base. This is very unfortunate for MarineKing. He's doing everything that he can, but he's just really far behind, and now he's supply difference is 50% less, or not 50% less, 1/3 less than Jim's. So Jim has built a lead. This time he doesn't want to go for the jugular as of yet. He thinks he can expand, build up an even larger lead before he goes in, and MarineKing is just trying to he's just trying to stem the tide. And it's going to be very difficult for him. He doesn't have a lot of units. He lost a lot of SCVs. He's just hanging out at his natural. He doesn't know what's going on. behind. Double Forge is going up for Jim. And more Colossi are being warped in, and now his third is up and running. He's sending probes over there. The economic advantage is surely in Jim's favor. And sometimes it's difficult for a Terran player when you see Colossi. When you don't see Colossi, it's pretty simple. For your starport, you just keep building medevacs. You don't have to build much else. But then once the Colossi come out, then you have to think, how many Colossi are there? How many Colossus is there? Should I be building Vikings? Should I be building medevacs? This third is fully up and running. Jim is just biding his time. The third orbital is going to try and lift off and land. There's nothing here to see it or to block it. So MarineKing will get his third up and running in a short time. Now, even though MarineKing is behind, he does have the upgrade advantage. He has +1 weapons and armor for his Bioforce, while Jim is only halfway done for that for his Protoss units. So MarineKing might be able to hit a short window here where he has the upgrade advantage. He's still choosing to stay back in his base. And here come a fleet of Phoenixes. About 15 Phoenixes are going to pick up all the mules and SCVs here, destroy everything at the third. Lone Marine gets picked up, destroyed instantly, but the Vikings are going to be able to pick up one Phoenix, but the Phoenix did a lot of damage there. Able to destroy another 5 or so SCVs. Up to this point, 28 SCVs have been destroyed, and 0 probes. So that's going to be the story of this game. MarineKing has not been able to drop and harass. He's not been able to get favorable engagements. Jim is just toying with him at this point. He's doing whatever he wants, just flying in the Phoenix, carefree. And all Marines and the Marauders of Vikings, all the units are hanging out at the third. This scouting factory is going to be picked off by this large group of Phoenixes. At least MarineKing was able to scout out all those units, but there's 6 Colossi here, and even with all these Vikings, you have to understand, with the Phoenixes, unless you're manually controlling the Vikings are going to be firing on the Phoenixes. And even if the Vikings are firing on the Colossi directly, then the Phoenixes are going to go uncontested and chew up the Vikings. So it's a very, very difficult choice for MarineKing. He's not sure what he's going to do. The supplies are evening out, though. Jim is getting his 4th set down, as both players don't want to engage each other as of yet. And look at this lone patrolling SCV, this blue flamey thingy, just going back and forth. And we all know within a few minutes this SCV will be destroyed. And here comes the force. Is it going to get picked up by the Phoenixes? SCV's able to see what's coming, and is quickly destroyed by the 6 Colossi. The scan goes down, able to pick up the entire army. The proxy pylons are being put down in the center of the map. This Marine's going to scootle back to base. MarineKing still has a slight upgrade advantage. He has 2-2 over 1-1, but 2-2's going to finish in less than a minute for Jim. So this engagement, here we go. All the Vikings are doing everything they can. My computer is slowing down. There's so many things going on. 2 time warps go down. Marines and Medivacs doing everything they can, but the Colossi are eating through all the Bioforces. The Vikings are firing on all the Phoenixes. There's still 5 Colossi, and look at all these burnt remains. I think that's going to tell this story of this game. The Zealots are charging in on these Marauders. Gonna lose a leg. We're gonna lose an arm. These Vikings are firing down on these Colossi. All the Phoenixes are destroyed. But remember, Vikings cannot hit Stalkers unless they land. And with a 30 supply advantage, Jim is in the lead again. He's able to destroy the entire Bioforce. Only Vikings were left. And they're gonna march into the third. The third is completely unprotected. The lone Phoenix is leading the charge. Thinks better otherwise. Actually just leaves the Zealots. They go right away. They say, hey bro, go in there with your swords. You can handle this. You don't need us. And the 6 Zealots are chasing away all these SCVs and mules. MarineKing's going to engage here, try to destroy all these Zealots. At the same time, these 3 Colossi are burning down all these SCVs and Marines. Vikings are coming in to engage again. One Colossi goes down. There's only 7 Vikings left. They're all getting focused down. 1 Colossi left. The Vikings going to finish off the Colossi, but there's no Marines or Marauders, just Zealots and a lot of blue Protoss units. And that's going to be game. Marine King cannot come back from this. Archon is storming in. 2-2 is finished. Don't need Colossi if the opponent doesn't have anything. And this Orbital Command is getting focused down. The Marine Marauders are hiding in the back of the natural. At least this missile turret's getting some work. Not even able to finish off the Phoenix. You'd think you might at least get a moral victory by destroying the Phoenix. But this low missile turret has 0 kills before it's picked off. Marines and Marauders doing everything they can. Actually, the Protoss units fired on the plates for a little bit. Orbital Command goes down. So does the Medivacs. And this is going to have to go to a final game 5 as Marine King GG's. So excellent play by Jim again. Was able to direct the aggression at the natural at the perfect time. And that put Marine King behind the 8 ball the entire game. He was trying to catch up. But unfortunately, with all his Phoenixes and Colossi, even though there were so many Vikings, they were just not able to deal with it. They killed all the Colossus. But at that point, there's nothing left. No Marines, Marauders, just a whole bunch of burnt corpses everywhere. So great game by Jim. And now Marine King has to recollect himself. As he won the first 2 games, but now he's lost the last 2 games. Is he going to be able to stem the momentum and win game 5 and the championships? Or is Jim going to complete an unbelievable comeback down 2-0 every single game after that, an elimination game, and be able to claim victory? We'll tune into game 5 and we'll find out.